Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestle Plug. It's been a while since we've done a podcast, but it is an annual tradition. It is our 5th annual end of year awards. This time around, this is just going to be mainstream wrestling. So if you're expecting me to run over Robbie Nitro a little bit more, you're going to have to wait for Potato Head's insults to come through. I'm Aaron Nix, of course, owner, proprietor, and fucking shithouse of Wrestle Plug. Now then, you might recognize some people, you might not, depending on what's been going on. So, first of all, let me introduce, I believe he's to my left on the screen that you'll be watching, from Ohio, and definitely not on a break from work. Jeremy Miller, after over a year of absence, has decided to return to the Wrestle Plug. Jeremy Miller, welcome back to the Wrestle Plug.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's been a while, just...
Why are you being unbelievably American? like, there's American, and then there's like, hey guys, what's going on? Fucking 9/11, hoorah! Which, by the way, is Jeremy Miller's birthday, ladies and gentlemen. That is alarming in itself. But we'll get to that later.
Happy birthday, Jeremy.
Happy birthday. It's not September the 11th, and no, I'm not starting that this early.
Is it?
There are two brown people. Right. There are two people in this podcast that are brown, so let's refrain from terrorism jokes until at least after the show has been done. And obviously, I refer to the other brown gentleman in this podcast. Down in the other corner is, of course, Cameron Anderson, the blackest man I know. Welcome to the podcast, sir. Professional wrestler, making your official proper debut on the podcast, as to be said.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty pasty. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the Tanveer screen. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Cool.
I
was wondering why someone had brought their child.
So my pick of the knobs for the worst wrestlers. All right, fuck you, knobs. You know what happened at the Rumble. Fuck you. So that's gone now. So I've got to think of something.
Mainstream, right? I apologize in advance, ladies and gentlemen, because people are going to talk over each other, so I'm just going to have to fucking bring the hammer down. And finally, joining us, cashing in his podcast in the bank, which I believe he has held for a good 2 years at this fucking point, probably waiting for an opportunity to wank himself silly over Tanahashi, is of course everything Japanese he is a fan of. Tanveer, welcome to the podcast, my brown little friend.
I'm happy to be here, man. Two years of finally cashing it in on the end of year awards. I feel very welcomed, man. And
Well,
it's happy, and it's happy that we're the two brown people, they're the two white people. We could possibly do a tag team match right here.
We can. Team Whitey versus Team 9/11 will be in effect later on, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, if you're offended at this point, you probably should bail out because it's only going to get worse from here. Really, really bad. Right, we're going to get right into the awards because we're on Zoom, and Zoom are a bunch of fuck nuggets who only give us 45 minutes because there's more than two of us. So, lads, we are going to start with aplomb. Who is the best male wrestler of 2021 in mainstream wrestling? And we are gonna start with, well, fuck it. Let's see how Tanveer does on his podcasting debut. Who is the 2021 mainstream wrestler of the year in your humble opinion?
The obvious pick is obvious. Best male.
He's got calling
best
cards.
wrestler.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I got my flashcards. I said I got my flashcards. I pick Roman Reigns.
Yes!
I straight up, nobody's had a better year than Roman. It reminds me so much of Okada in 2017, where he had that amazing title run. That's what Roman's done this year. He's just been that next level guy they've needed, and he's just a complete package. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, he's not actually my pick, but he is a fucking awesome pick. Lads, Jeremy Miller, any recourse? What do you think about Roman Reigns being the wrestler of the year, courtesy of Tanveer?
I agree.
He's your pick, isn't he?
Well. Yes, he is. The tribal chief.
The tribal beef.
Many a good thing, and has been the only bright spot for the WWE. In my opinion.
Whoa. I'm sorry. Have you not been watching Doudrop on Raw?
No, it was a tough
decision, but I picked Roman over Adam Cole because Adam's been having a hell of a year too.
Yeah, no, Adam Cole did have a fantastic year, but he kind of ruined it by joining the Elite and then deciding that he was going to spend the rest of the year wrestling in mid-air Jordans and not really doing much with his time. Tanvir seems to have frozen, but we'll keep rolling on as we do. I'm sure he'll return at some point. It is what it is. Cameron Anderson, who is the 2021 mainstream wrestler of the year, in your opinion?
Yeah, 3 for 3, Roman Reigns. He's just the best, isn't he? I just think all of the matches that I've watched this year that I've really enjoyed have featured him. So I can't really choose anyone else, can I?
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I mean, Roman Reigns has.
I agree with your point as well. I agree with your point about Adam Cole as well. I feel like ever since he's gone over to AEW, he's just kind of fallen off a bit.
But he's coming back.
Yeah, but he was like top star in NXT for like so long, and now he's just a guy in AEW.
Now he's just the Young Bucks little bitch.
Yeah.
Is what it is, mate. Is what it is. Well, in the absence of Tanvir, I feel that I'm going to be the only person who doesn't pick Roman Reigns, although he is one of my honorary mentions, and we do have some honorary mentions. My pick for 2021 is Joshua Alexander, and there isn't anyone else who should be getting this award if you actually watch anything other than SmackDown. It is what it is. I know that Cameron's, I knew exactly what he'd done there. Those actually do belong. Hold them up again. Hold them up. Come on. Show them off on the camera. Those are Josh Alexander's official wrestling boots that Cameron Anderson bought from him and has actually wrestled in them personally, which is pretty sick. Yeah, Josh Alexander, what a year. X Division champion, probably the most legitimate X Division champion of the last 10 years, particularly since the old age of X Division champions, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, of that kind of nature. The Iron Man match with TJP especially was a standout moment for me. And frankly, everything he's done has been utterly stellar. And he's done all of that on Impact while making Impact relevant and also wrestling a regular slate of matches for a multitude of different independent promotions, winning titles across there, working for Destiny as well. He's just done all of that. And he's done that during a pandemic as well. You know, Roman Reigns, amazing. But at the same time, WWE had all the money, all the power, all the strength to be able to run shows as much as they like, despite a pandemic. Much harder for Impact to do that, especially without an audience. Very hard to get any notice or traction when you work for Impact, even though it is actually quite a stellar product now. So Josh Alexander, for me, is the 2021 Wrestler of the Year. Whether Tanvir returns or not, ladies and gentlemen, I honestly couldn't tell you. He's definitely. We will try and work towards getting Tanvir back. I will send another invite, unfortunately. But seeing as he is currently not here, we're going to roll on and we're going to, let's stay a little bit more positive. Let's go with the best tag team in professional wrestling for 2021's mainstream professional wrestling. Jeremy Miller, who is the pinnacle of tag team wrestling for you in the past year?
FTR.
Phenomenal choice.
They have been stellar. I mean, when they first came into AEW, they were horrible. Fucking horrible.
That's not fair.
Now,
they were absolutely hamstrung by the fucking Young Bucks, isn't it? That's basically what happened now.
Now they're having programs with the Lucha Brothers that are absolutely amazing, involving not only the AEW title, but the AAA tag team championships as well.
No.
They're fantastic. And the thing that they're doing with the Briscoes, I swear to God, Tony Khan, if you're watching this, you better pull the fucking trigger, buddy.
Yeah, no, he ain't watching this. He's too busy wanking off a dog, mate. He ain't watching this shit. Behave. Just unbelievable, to be honest, in every sense. But I genuinely think that that's a great pick, to be fair. FTR. It's a weird one for me. I wouldn't have personally picked FTR because I feel that overall their body of work isn't worthy of being the best tag team. They are, without a shadow of a doubt, when they work at their best, the best tag team, like proper tag team, old school as well. Tanvir is, don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, he is working his way back with his technical issues. We get a lovely shot of his ceiling, of course. So great stuff. But yeah, seeing as we're talking about great tag team wrestling and someone who
Ooh,
loves
best
to
tag
tag
team?
team at the best of times. Tanvir, shut your mouth when you're currently recording. Jesus Christ, honestly. We'll have to wear him in, ladies and gentlemen. He's not aware of how a podcast works. He's not, well, frankly, he's never been in front of a camera before. Tanvir, who is the best tag team of 2021? Come on, get through your flashcards, bruv. Here we go. Look at him. I think I had a joke here somewhere. Wait a minute. Oh, boy. It looks like, you know, we're not spreading the cash about. This ain't a strip club, Holmes. Who's the best tag team in 2021?
Best tag team for me, Lucha Bros.
Yeah, great choice. Great choice. Would you care to back up your opinion?
They've just been that next level, and I've always preferred Penta over Phoenix, but they're both incredible, and together they're just that great tag team that can have a great match with anyone.
Yeah, no, fine choice. A fine choice. I'm particularly a big fan of Penta's style of work. Phoenix is, for me, the best high flyer in the world. And half the reason I really don't enjoy the Young Bucks stuff is because Phoenix is just tenfold better than them at it. So why would I bother watching them when I could watch Phoenix do it? And Penta is an assassin. Cameron Anderson, you may very well be doing a lot of tag team wrestling in 2022. So you should have a good idea of what a good tag team is.
Yeah, you know, I keep my eye on things. I like to research, and it's hard to disagree with both of these picks, but I'm going to have to say that MSK versus Grizzled Young Veterans was so good. So I'm going with MSK. They won the NXT tag titles, and they were just fantastic. I can't say anything more.
Yeah, MSK is a fucking phenomenal choice. Yeah, all good picks. Interestingly enough, every single one of us has picked somebody different. My best tag team of 2021 stays in Europe predominantly, or at least they are European. It's actually Imperium. I think Imperium have been by far and away the most improved tag team of the year. They already were fantastic wrestlers. We're now getting to see a multitude of different avenues, promos. They're getting to work with Volta soon. Huge 6-man tag coming up for New Year's Day Evil, or whatever the fuck they're calling it over there on NXT 2.0. I just jizzed paint all over the screen. But I think Imperium are really special, and they go in that bracket along with guys like GYV, MSK. NXT has got a stellar tag team division. GYV was second for me, but I will discuss GYV a little bit later on. Any other thoughts on tag teams that stood out for you guys over the year?
I'd say towards the end, I'd say the Usos, because considering that first half they were kind of separated. But now, Usos back. I'm gonna throw it out there, Ray and Dominic. I think Ray and Dominic have had a fun little run.
I'm not sold on Dominic.
Not tag team of the year, but just as like an honorable mention.
No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. I think the Usos, like, I would pick the Usos every year. I think they're the best tag team in the world. But obviously, you know, when there's a bit too much of the old, then unfortunately, you know, that kind of slows things down a little bit. And leave yourself up to your own devices as to what the fuck I was referring to there, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, they didn't have a full year together, so I can't give it to the Usos. I've given it to Imperium because I want to mix it up a little bit, and also I'm pretty sure I've given the Usos my tag team year for 4 years running.
It's because they're that damn good. They're that damn good.
Yeah, well, they are. They're that special. Right, time to start looking at some of the shite in wrestling, because it just wouldn't be fun unless we started slandering a few people. We've had best male, we've had best tag team. Who's the worst female of 2021? Jeremy Miller.
Don't hate me. Shotzi Blackheart.
What?
Wow, okay.
Whoa.
Nope. Right, give the man time to explain himself. Jeremy Miller, the floor is yours.
Okay. Her and Ember Moon won the inaugural tag team titles. Congratulations, whoop-de-frickin' do. After that, what did she literally do?
Technically, it was Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, but they held it for about half an hour.
All right. Oh, that's right. You're right.
Because you know, so some nerds go, actually, Dakota Kai for 13 minutes.
Either way, after that, they had War Games, and then after that, Sheaf. off. What did she do? Then she showed up magically on SmackDown at the draft and did absolutely dick. Thank you very much. What?
Drove a little tank, innit?
Oh yeah, she drove the tank, and she hit Austin Theory in the balls with her missile.
Yeah, that was, to be fair, probably if most accurate moment 2021 award goes to Shotzi Blackheart. So that's fair. Tanvir, your sound quality is shite, but I'm sure your picks won't be. So why don't you let us know who you think is the worst women's wrestler of 2021?
It's the audio on my phone. Sorry, guys. Worst wrestler or female wrestler for 2021 is tough, but I'm gonna say it's from AEW, Red Velvet.
Oh, mate, no. Oh,
I think
why?
I think she's a bit too botchy, a bit too ambitious. Because like her moonsault, I get it. It's like, oh yeah, she can do a moonsault. But every single time she's gone for it, she's missed. She either missed or it doesn't connect. I'm like, that's your finish?
No, that's fair. I mean, that is an accurate statement. I just think in AEW there are some terrible wrestlers.
There are some stinkers. But I just, for this one, I had to go for like the first name that came to my head, and Red Velvet was there, unfortunately.
That's fair.
Plus, you've got Red Velvet. Why have Red Velvet when we've got Candy Floss in the UK?
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's absolutely fair. Cameron Anderson.
Yeah,
you're young.
Well,
You're still of an age where you can recover from slagging off women. Who's the worst women's wrestler of 2021 in mainstream?
Look, when you think about diarrhea poo, you think about one name, and that's Alexa Bliss. She has been awful this year.
No, I didn't even think of that. No, that's a good one.
What? That is like the most obvious pick. She's been so bad with The Fiend. Ever since he's left, she's only gotten worse. Lily was a disaster, and they've had to kibosh that because it was so laughable. I just think Alexa Bliss has been awful this year, and she's been so good historically. So it's a shame it's not to her usual form.
Yeah. Worst wrestler is difficult, isn't it? Because it's not necessarily an all-time terrible wrestler. It's someone who in the year, like, they could have been a casualty of shite booking, like Alexa Bliss, which is ironic because for me, by far and away, the worst wrestler. And by the way, honorary mentions every single year until the end of time will always go to Natalya and Tamina, who literally, Natalya has the fucking charisma of a walnut that has been raped by an ostrich, and fucking Tamina is quite literally the ostrich raping the walnut. Useless. Both of them fucking useless. Awful. And also, like, the fact that your dad is fucking much more relevant even today for smashing in some poor bird in an hotel room. Enough said, really. So, moving on. May as well just make it even more offensive. We started with 9/11 jokes. Where did you think this thing was going to end up? Doudrop is my worst wrestler for 2021 because
fair enough.
Doudrop, the human being, Piper Niven, is an amazing wrestler, wonderful woman, great talent. However, under the WWE umbrella, Vince obviously saw this woman coming and went, now, this is not my personal opinion, but I can assure you, when she walked in, Vince was like, what is that fat sack of shit? Sir, that's a women's wrestler. That's a piece of fat shit. I'll tell you what, Doudrop. You know what? That makes me want to take a Doudrop whenever I see it. That's your name, Doudrop. Oh, it's such good shit. And that's what we've been saddled with for the best part of a year. Congratulations. You have this thing going on, which somewhat reminds me of pedo fingers, whatever. Like, that's a thing. No idea. And of course, she got to the final of the worst tournament I have ever seen in women's wrestling history, the Queen of the Ring tournament this year, which was fucking AIDS, fam. Like, just absolutely tragic. I'd rather look at the inside of Tanvir's laptop. I really would. I hated everything that Doudrop did this year, and all of it is because of shit booking, and I'm sure none of it has to do with her herself. Good for her for trying, but fucking Awful. Awful.
Just dust and cum in the laptop, man.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Do we have any honorary mentions for terrible women's wrestlers before we move on?
I have to say about Doudrop at WWE Live Brighton, she was over. She was amazing at that show. So I have to disagree. I quite like Doudrop.
That's because people from Brighton are stupid. Yeah,
No,
do you know what? Fuck it.
That.
I'm just spinning off Brighton at this point. Fuck Brighton. Yeah, fuck you. Get lost.
But what
Fuck
about
off.
Riptide when it comes
Fuck
back?
Brighton, really. Fucking tie with Chelsea. Fuck them.
Get a little fucking
What
sore out,
about
mate.
Riptide?
I'm just fuck Riptide as well. We're fucking soaring around Brighton. We're putting a wall around Brighton with Donald Trump in this shit, and we're booing out to sea. Get out. Fuck off.
Jesus.
Useless. And that includes the Whittles as well. Get them in there as well, because they can't be bothered to turn up for work. Get in there, Whittles. Useless. Absolutely useless. There's a joke that two people will get. Hi, George. So yeah, okay. Well, seeing as we've offended everyone and they've all turned off by now, we can pretty much do this thing as we like. So
Yes.
let's go with the best female wrestler of 2021.
Ooh.
Cameron, we're going to start with you.
All right. Luckily, I am able straight away to just think of someone who I think is always the best. I love Charlotte Flair, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
Fair enough.
I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a Charlotte Flair fan until I die. Every single time she has a match, it's amazing. I don't care what anyone says about booking. Fuck you, she's amazing. That's it. That's all I have to say.
I am completely in agreement. Although she isn't my pick, she is fucking amazing. Tanvir, my little Indian friend, who is the best women's wrestler of 2021?
I had a pick of two, and it's either Japanese or mainstream. I'm gonna.
Japanese is still mainstream, sort of.
Yeah.
But
But
in
I'm
your
gonna
in
go-
your eyes, it definitely is. You anime fuck nugget.
but I'm sticking mainstream. I've done WWE and AEW. Let's keep this WWE train rolling. Bianca Belaire.
Oh yeah, great choice. Yeah.
As much as I find her like initially I found her a little bit boring, but now as the years gone on, I'm like, no, she's great. She's really good. And her match with Sasha at Mania, enough said.
Yeah, phenomenal. People can say it's not a main event. Fuck you, it's a main event. It closed one night of WrestleMania. Like,
They delivered.
yeah, absolutely. It was a phenomenal choice. Jeremy Miller, you're obviously a big fan of women's rights, being from America and all. No doubt pro-abortion and all that kind of stuff. So, Cameron Anderson's face was great. I just thought, let's watch out there. Luckily for us, Jeremy Miller isn't from Texas. Jeremy Miller, when you're not busy beating the shit out of hookers at the dollar store, tell us who you think is the best women's wrestler of 2021.
Jay Miller hates women.
AEW for this one
You're going to AEW? Well, that clearly makes you
AEW.
fucking wrong.
because this woman has exceeded all expectations and has become
Red
the number
Velvet.
one killer in AEW in the women's division, and that's Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
There's ooh.
Do you know what Britt Baker is to me? Like, Britt Baker is the really, really good wrestler that's part of a really shit promotion. Like, so she's fine, she's good, but like, I look at Charlotte Flair, even Becky Lynch, who I don't like at all, Bianca Belaire, they all feel like much bigger stars to me. Like, I until I see Britt Baker work a high-end match, like a WrestleMania marquee match, I find it difficult to think that she's anything but chopped liver. So I will say one thing, one of the most improved women's wrestlers I've seen, because when she first started in AEW, she couldn't even fucking take a bump properly. She was awful. And like, her match with Thunder Rosa certainly legitimized her quite a bit. That's a great moment. So yeah, no, she's full credit to her. She's worked very hard. But I'm the only one who didn't pick a somewhat high-powered mainstream company for my women's. I have
Oh,
Deonna
no.
Purrazzo down as the best.
That
women's
was my
wrestler
second
of
pick.
2021.
That was my.
I don't think it's even close in terms of work rate because she worked across a multitude of different promotions. She worked for NWA. She had an incredible contest. You know, there was a rivalry with Mickie James, which was so well written, felt legitimate, felt really honest and truthful, as opposed to a lot of these things like, you don't go here. And I'm just like, yeah, great catchphrase, fuck off. Sorry, Bianca, I love you, but that is a shit catchphrase. You know, like, Deonna Purrazzo is legit. She's a shooter. She's one of the best technical wrestlers I've ever seen in terms of women's wrestling. Deonna Purrazzo, for me, is the women's answer to Bret Hart in many ways. And I feel that even though she'll go down as a legend and an all-time great women's wrestler, she'll never be considered the pinnacle. Like, we all, like, I love Bret Hart. He's my favorite wrestler. But everyone thinks of HBK or The Undertaker or Austin or Ric Flair, any of those guys before they think of Bret Hart. And I think that's going to be Deonna's kind of legacy as one of the greatest wrestlers that is not quite Mount Rushmore to a lot of people, but for me, she had an amazing fucking year and she deserves to be the women's wrestler, best women's wrestler for 2021. So she's my pick. Any honorary mentions before we move on? Try not to talk over each other.
Just wanted to say Deonna was my second pick. I would say if Bianca was picked before, I was going straight for Deonna Purrazzo because she's so good. I love her style. I love the presentation. What she's done in Impact alone is just. Impact's been the best promotion of this year, and she's a very big part of why it's been the best promotion this year.
Yeah, Impact never gets enough love. I say it every year, and people just still. What fucks me off is I don't think AEW is terrible. There's a lot of things I don't like about it, but what annoys me is their fans are always saying, "Yeah, we want to see, you know, great wrestling elsewhere because WWE isn't the only thing." And the reality is that Impact has been right there doing great things for like 3 years, and AEW's fans don't watch it because, well, they're all wanking in their basements. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Also, Jeremy Miller looks like he's currently having a wank in a basement, so that's pretty fair. It also, if he moves forward a little bit, it looks like he's got ears going. It's fantastic. It's just, it's the gift that keeps on giving. It really is. It really is the fellatio of WrestlePlug. So yeah. Okay, time for one more award, and then we'll have to splice it and cut into a second part because Zoom is being a fucking absolute arsehole about things. So, before we wrap it up for the first half of the awards, who have we got here? I want to know who the worst tag team in wrestling is in 2021, because for me, this is a really hard one to pick. Tanvir, worst tag team you saw in 2021 in the mainstream wrestling world?
I'm not going to pick one. What I've done is I put for worst tag majority of AEW's thrown together tag teams. So like Varsity Blondes, Chaos Project, Sunny Kiss and Janela, QT and Dustin, The Factory and the Gun Club. Just half of the shit AEW has done.
That is literally a list of venereal diseases.
It's just like the shit that they've done. It's like, you've got Private Party, Butcher, Blade, and is it H2O and Angelico and Jack Evans?
Yeah, something like that.
Hybrid. The hybrid too.
Hybrid 2. They've got them.
They're not even there.
Like, they've got them all in one faction. I'm like, you've got 3 tag teams right there, and you're pushing Varsity Blondes and shit like this. Like, why?
Matt Hardy's compound.
And the fact is, if Matt is serious about getting Jeff back, yeah, cool. But that's another veteran tag team that AEW doesn't really need.
Like, they've got literally 4 or 5 of the best tag teams of the last 20 years, and instead they're like, have some nonsense.
You've got FTR, Redragon now, Lucha Bros, Proud and Powerful, and the Bucks.
Proud and Powerful. Mate, seriously, I'll dedicate a podcast to how shit AEW are booking the best tag team in the world, Proud and Powerful, who, like, legitimately are the only like, Usos versus Proud and Powerful is the money matchup, but we're never going to get it because Tony Khan is too busy wanking off dogs instead of booking proper tag team wrestling. It's a fucking joke. Stop crying about what Fox News tweets about, you fucking inbred little shithouse, and do your job. It fucking infuriates me.
I'm still
Terrible.
gutted we're not going to get the North of the FTR.
No, because Ethan Page is apparently someone's little bitch, like Dan Lambert's little bitch now. Like that's yeah. Oh well, we could throw all the money at Josh Alexander, one of the best male wrestlers of the modern era. Nah, sticking with Scorpio Sky, the guy who wrestles really well but has all the charisma of a Men in Black remake. Fucking great stuff. Can't wait, fam. Yeah, really good stuff. Really good. Jeremy Miller. Who are the worst tag team in wrestling of 2021?
See, I kind of threw away my choice because you pretty much locked in my fucking choice for the AEW. I said 2.0.
Just put in AEW, fam. Just AEW is the worst tag team ever. Fuck them.
No, I put 2.0 because shit.
Also, when they put Sting through a table, it didn't affect him in the slightest. Is what it is. Cameron Anderson, worst tag team of 2021.
All right. You touched on it. I'm gonna go Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. I can't do knobs. It's got to be mainstream. They're losers. But
bury the fucking
Scorpio
bury
Sky.
the dub. Fuck off, Tony.
He's already dead.
Fucking mate.
Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. The thing is like you get Ethan Page, who was in a worldie of a tag team just last year, and now
they were my pick for last year's tag team of the year. The North, actually. I've just remembered the North picked the Usos. This year, Ethan Page is part of the worst tag team of the year. Wow. But AEW books so well. Send Hook. Send fuck. For the love of Christ.
Not gonna lie, Hook is pretty cool.
Fuck off. Right, seeing as let's just stick with the theme because I have the Varsity Blondes down as the worst tag team of 2021. Because fuck a company that doesn't know how to use Brian Pillman Jr. Oh, he's just like his dad. He's an amazing promo. He's one of the best wrestlers. So let's stick him with what amasses to 220 pounds of pure pubic merkin mass, Griff Garrison. The state of that, whatever that thing is. That's not a wrestler. That is quite literally a dog that has been spliced with merkins. Fucking useless, fam. The state of your hair, bruv. Honestly. Like, more frizz than Kane in the 2001 Royal Rumble. Unacceptable. Unacceptable tag team. Julia Hart, cute, but unfortunately for someone of my age, a little bit too young. So not even interested in that regard. And literally the highlight of their entire year was a fucking geezer from the Acclaim saying that she had a smelly cunt. Great stuff. The state of your fucking tag. Oh yeah, we got Proud and Powerful. Yep. Probably one of the most gangster, best tag teams of all time. Great stuff. Who else you got? FTR, probably the best fluid tag team of all time. Yeah. Who else we got? Oh, fucking Lucha Brothers. Great stuff. Yeah, fucking great. So who are we gonna push? How about Placenta and his poodle head buddy over there? Yeah, great idea. Yeah, let's put Malachi Black, arguably the most intriguing character since The Undertaker. Who are you going to be feuding with this year, Malachi Black? I thought I might attack a cheerleader. Okay.
Why?
Fuck AEW and their shitty booking. That's why I don't watch mainstream wrestling, and it's sure as hell I will not be watching AEW in 2022. Until they work out that Proud and Powerful are legitimately one of the best tag teams walking this earth. Joke. Absolute joke.